Hello, and welcome to another mountaineering video. This week I've got something a little bit different. I was on holiday to Chamonix and we took the cable car up to the top of the Aiguille du Midi, and then from there we went on what must be the most terrifying walk I have ever done in my life. And that is no exaggeration. You'll see from the video that's playing right now that you leave the back of the Aiguille du Midi and you go down this arête. There is a drop. It must be 4,000 or 5,000 feet straight down on the left hand side as you're going down. On the right hand side it might only be 500 feet. It's enough that it will mess your day up. You're also at high altitude and that results in being lightheaded and a little bit dizzy. So the faster you walk, the dizzier you get. The arête is only a foot wide and just enough for your feet to slide by each other as you're going down. There are points where people can get by you but they have to drop down about 2 foot off the arête onto the side of the arête to walk by. It's just terrifying. It's certainly scarier than anything I've climbed in the Scottish mountains, even the inaccessible pinnacle, and that is quite narrow at the top, but this was worse. Anyway, having got down to the bottom of the arête, then it's simply stunning. The day we had was amazing, and there was blue sky and spiky mountains. It was just incredible. So the route, and I'm not going to post this route, but I'll just describe it. We left the Aiguille du Midi at the cave at the back, and you go down this very thin arête that you'll have seen as I've been talking. And that arête extends all the way down to around about here. At this point it gets much nicer and easier, and it's not so scary. This is where the paragliders take off. And that would be quite interesting, but I wouldn't like to be carrying the pack down that arête. From there we went for a little walk along to the east, and you can see you're at the top of the glacier here, and you can see crevasses in the glacier, so you do have to be careful. And there was quite a steep drop off the edge here, but we made the way back a little bit. We wanted to see if you could go around here and come down, but it just seemed to go on a bit too far, so we returned back along and then came down the edge. Had a little bit of a bum slide down the side, did practice my ice axe arrest, and then walked along and then joined what was more of a clear path. We wanted to stay on the path so we didn't risk falling into any of the crevasses. Made the way down. There's just stunning scenery, and this whole area here is all mountaineering. You see lots of people climbing up this massive spiky mountain, and we walked all the way along underneath that. Walked along to the end of, there is a route here that my friends did actually a couple of days later. We enjoyed the views and then returned back along. Expecting that going up the arête would be a little bit easier than going down, but the exertion was more, so I was getting more lightheaded and more dizzy on the way up. And if you had roped yourself up, you would be at risk if the person at the back fell. They would pull everybody off because you wouldn't be able to tell if they fell to the left or the right. If you're at the back, you would be able to see people in front, and if somebody slipped in front, you could jump to the opposite side of the arête and rescue yourselves. But if the person at the back fell, that would be quite bad. Let's have a look at the video from the day. Things you do to get a view. I mean, this is stunning. Coming down that arête was a bit lightheaded from the altitude, and it's a lot steeper than it looks. Well, maybe it looks quite steep from here, to be fair. Sections of it you're just walking down on your heels with your toes forward, which is a bit uncomfortable. There's some steps that are much easier, but if you went off the edge there, I don't think you could stop yourself. can see where the paragliders take off.
Yeah, one. Just take it off. You want to take a picture of those?
What a beautiful day. Just amazing. Very slight breeze. Walking at this altitude, you get out of breath quite quickly. Get a little bit lightheaded. We're at 3,640 metres. Almost 3 times the height of Ben Nevis. So many incredible views. We're headed in the general direction of the refuge over there. I don't know if we'll actually go to it. We'll just walk along underneath the crags there where the climbers are. We're going to continue this way a little bit and then go around to the right, and then we'll head along underneath all this wonderful rock climbing. There's so many people up there, different routes. We're going to come back up underneath all of that, and then we can see everybody coming down. We'll head back up there and then back up the Arête, but it should be relatively easier than coming down it if you're facing forward and on your toes. You can see the Italian cable car station right in the centre of view. And then you can see the cable cars. It stops every few minutes, so you can get nice panoramics. All sorts of people can get on. Well worth the trip, that one. You see a paraglider away up there. Catching the thermals. There's one. The summit of Mont Blanc is just slightly further back out of view, but they're pretty close up there. How many climbers can you spot? So from here we're just going to head straight back up to the cable car. You follow on that track, you can see straight ahead and it bends round to the left onto the Arête and up. A glorious day. On the final approach up the ascent to the little cave. There's not a lot of room for people to pass. I'm just going to wait here, I think.